Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm Head of Monitoring and Evaluation at PEAS, and part of my role involves managing research on the PEAS program in Uganda and Zambia. So in 2013, PEAS embarked on a 3.5-year project as part of the DFID Girls Education Challenge Fund, which has been focused really on supporting girls specifically to participate in secondary schooling. So the project itself has been doing a lot of things to support our female students to participate fully in secondary school. We've done things like just basic, simple improvements to the school environments, like constructing school fences, putting solar lighting into girls' dorms and spaces that are used by girls, which are all around making them feel safer at school. Through to doing things like adding extracurricular girls clubs, which kind of serve as kind of girl-only spaces for kind of peer sharing and also for girls to develop their skills and confidence. So it's been a very holistic project, and alongside it we've had an evaluation running which has been looking at basically the progress of girls in PEAS secondary schools compared to schools that aren't receiving kind of any of these new interventions and funding. So right now we're at the midpoint in this study. It's being conducted at 3 different points in time, looking at sort of how much girls were learning and what their experiences were in school at baseline, at midline, and then again in another year at the end line. And at the midline we've seen some really interesting results. So there were basically 3 areas that we wanted to target to see improvements in. And those were girls' enrollment, girls' attendance in school, and girls' results. So around enrollment, we've seen basically girls' enrollment improve by 54% in the schools that are receiving those interventions. And the thing that's probably most interesting is that girls' enrollment has increased at 1.3 times the rates of boys' enrollment over those years. So it means that basically the improvements that are being made to those schools are really doing something to encourage parents to enroll their girls in particular in PEAS schools. Secondly, around attendance, we've seen attendance improve by 6% in just 2 years, which is a really kind of big jump. So again, seeing that some of the things that we're doing to help girls feel comfortable at school, feel that they can continue to come to school regularly, are making a big difference. And then thirdly, in the area of learning, we've again seen some really exciting progress, particularly for our girls that are finishing school, sitting there kind of leaving exams as it would be. We've seen a 7% increase in girls' pass rates in just 2 years, so from 2013 to 2015. And we now have a pass rate for girls which is 96%, and that's actually 6 percentage points better than the Ugandan national average. So some really impressive gains being made in our schools, and also starting to see girls close the gender gap. So basically only 1% less girls now are passing their exams in those schools than our boys, and that gap is as wide as 4 to 5% in a lot of schools in Uganda. We've done things like introduce a girls policy, which supports kind of school leaders to, for example, know how to help re-enroll girls who have left school because they've had children to come back and kind of re-enroll as young mothers. We've done things like training on gender-sensitive pedagogy for our teachers to help them recognize some of the biases they might not even know they have in the way that they teach boys and girls, and really to support an inclusive classroom environment, and to follow all this kind of training and policy up with a school inspections process that looks very actively at how gender is treated in the schools. And through that have seen a real difference in kind of girls' experience at schools, and similarly the way that the school environment treats girls. So yeah, we think basically those are some of the areas at this point that we feel are making a real big difference for girls. I should say too that we've had a new literacy curriculum that has shown to be driving a lot of the gains we see in kind of learning across all areas, since literacy is so fundamental to being able to engage with other curriculum subjects. And through our inline year we'll be looking to kind of understand better what are the specific things that we can carry forward as an organization to support girls, but also all our students to achieve their full potential and do as much as we can for them. But yeah, been a really interesting study for PEAS so far.